We don't wanna wake up yet.
Hey fam, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Throwback Thursday tutorial. If you're unfamiliar with this series, every Thursday I use an older throwback palette that no one uses anymore so we can dig them out of our collections and start using them again. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know how throwbacky today's Throwback Thursday palette is, but I was going through my collection looking for a palette to use. This palette just caught my eye and I've only used it one other time, I think, so I wanted to use it so bad, so I hope you don't mind, but today we're using the Sephora Pro Warm palette. It looks like this. Gosh, is she a beauty. I love this palette. And I created this look with it here today. It's kind of like an olivey, antique-y gold green. And I paired it with this fun coral lip. I think this is an awesome holiday makeup if you don't like the traditional like red lips. It still has some glitter, but it's not like silver or gold. I don't know. It's just fun. I love the olivey color and I think it'll fit a lot of you guys. So if you want to see how I got this makeup tutorial, just keep watching. So if you hear any weird noises or purring in this video, I got my Lola bear behind me. You can see her around my shoulder. She will not leave that desk and I'm not going to push her off, so it is what it is. Welcome, Lola. We're so happy to have her. She's my best friend. She's my girl. I like when she's here. So first, to start off, we need to prime our lids. I'm going to take the Urban Decay Shadow Primer in the shade Enigma. You know mama likey this primer. So let's just get a few dabs on the lid and I'll blend it in real quick with my fingers and we'll be good to go. Today I want to use the Sephora Pro palette. This is the Warm palette. First, to start off, I want to pop into this matte creamy shade and I just want to use that to lock in our primer and make a nice little base on top of our shadows to blend on top of. How are you guys today? Happy Throwback Thursday. I'm actually a little anxious today, I won't lie. I'm flying tomorrow, so by the time you guys see this, I'll actually be in Malibu, which I'm super excited about. I've never been there before. I'm super honored to say that e.l.f. Cosmetics asked me to join them on a trip, which I think is pretty cool. I'm gonna pop down to this shade. It was 3 rows down from that creamy shade we just used, or 3 little, yeah, boop, 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 right here. And I just want to pop that into my transition. I'm using that same E40 blending brush from Sigma Beauty. Oh, this is a gorgeous palette. I do not use this enough. What is your favorite palette of the Sephora Pro palettes? I only have this one, but I think they have like a really bright one too, don't they? And then a cool toned. I'm gonna have to pick more of these up. So yeah, that's what my week's like, you guys. And I am gonna be vlogging the trip, so that should probably be my Friday video. I'll probably edit that on the plane back home, which I'm really excited for because I don't vlog a whole lot, and I do plan on starting my vlog channel in January. I'm kind of like feeling it out and getting the hang of it right now. I haven't uploaded any videos, but I am working on that vlog channel. I'm gonna take a bit of a smaller blending brush. This is the E38 crease brush from Sigma, and I wanna go right across. So we were using this shade first, and now I'm gonna pop to this shade, kind of like an olivey color, and I wanna start working this into the crease. Alok's so annoyed with me right now. Not for real annoyed, but he's like, oh girl, you're lucky I love you, because I asked him if we can go to the mall tonight after he gets done work, and he gets done work pretty late tonight, and it's like, of course, holiday shopping, so it's gonna be madness, and I really need to go to Express because I liked a dress I saw there and I kind of want to take it with me on my trip. And just like an hour ago, he got a text from Express saying like, there's a flash sale between 5 and 9 p.m. So he sent me the screenshot of the text and he was like, you know it's gonna be packed, right? He's like, you're lucky I love you. I'm like, I know, I'm very lucky in more ways than one, but I appreciate it. And then also he has to drive me to the airport super early tomorrow morning before he has to go to work, so he's just like, what would you do without me? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. Kind of is like my source of life, but I take plenty good care for him too. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't eat because he doesn't cook. He wouldn't live in a clean home because he doesn't clean. And just so you know, it's not that he refuses, it's that I'm a little particular in how things are done. Like, I like things to be organized a certain way and he doesn't do it that way. So I end up like getting frustrated, and he gets mad when he like cleans and puts stuff away, and then he watches me go and do, like, kind of change everything he just did and put things in different places, and he's like, well, why did I even do it if you were just gonna change absolutely everything? And we both like very different types of food, and I don't really like the stuff that he cooks me sometimes. So I do the cooking for the most part. We eat very basic foods, like very easy, simple foods. We have a lot of salads. And I honestly just love to go on Pinterest and just find easy, simple, little fun, yummy recipes that aren't too high in calories and fat and all that. And we just that's kind of what we do throughout the week. We just find something on Pinterest and we're like, okay, let's try this tonight. Sometimes it's great, sometimes we hate it, and sometimes we order pizza or Chinese. We're also huge on splitting meals. Like if we order Chinese or if we order pasta from like an Italian restaurant, we'll just get one dish and we'll both split that and just make sure to order a large salad so that the majority of what we eat is the salad. And then we both have half of a spaghetti plate or half of, because they give you so much. Like portions in the US are crazy when you look and see what people eat in other countries. And I'm sure if you're from another country, you're like, wow, US portions are insane. And they really are. It's way too much food. So anytime we go anywhere, order food, we always split the meal directly down and we get a side salad, and that's our 2 meals, and you save a ton of money that way. It's never more than $12 to $15 when we pick up takeout, especially when we order Chinese. I think our Chinese dinner is always around like $9, $10 because we just get a General Tso's chicken and white rice, and that's it. And then I steam broccoli or green beans or peas or something. Oh. Loli, is that a good spot for you, baby? How freaking precious is she? She is just my whole heart. She is so adorable. I love her. I can't believe she's laying in front of that light bulb. She must like the warmth of it. Now I'm going to take this little espresso shade here, and I'm just going to build that up on my outer crease. I like to pack it in and then blend it out. As you guys know, I kind of place it down and then blend out as we go. I just shampooed my brushes and they feel a little bit damp. I probably should have done it a little bit farther away from filming this video. I did it a few hours ago. I thought they'd be totally dry by now, but they are not. Oh no, I think I dipped my brush into the black shadow a little bit, so we're gonna have to kind of mix those two. That's okay, it's not a big deal, but I didn't intend on doing that. I'm just careless. I'm also going to take some of that brown on the inner half of my eye. I always like to kind of darken this little section up too, kind of like a little halo eye. So I kind of just wanted to speak on something just ever so slightly serious for a moment. We're of course going to keep it lighthearted and fun, but I just wanted to let you guys know because I did have a subscriber reach out. You know, she's feeling a little bummy, not feeling her best right now. She was just asking if I ever get depressed and if I've struggled with depression, and y'all, those of you who have been watching my channel for a long time have actually like truly been there during my worst times. I've gone through crazy bouts of depression my whole life. I was always told I have chemical imbalances, and I was on a ton of medication when I was younger for problems I didn't even really have. That's why I kind of have an issue with medication these days. I think they were a little too eager to medicate me when I probably just needed someone to talk to about stuff. And my counselor I had, because I was in therapy when I was in middle school, she didn't like me. She really didn't. And I always say I wish I could have had like a counselor or someone to talk to like Peter Mon. Like, wow, I sound obsessed with him, because I kind of am, but like you can just tell he's so caring and like really gets down on your level. And this woman who I was going to at the time, she actually ended up losing her license for something, so that's why I really don't feel bad talking about her, because she did bad. She did some bad stuff. She was like always so rude to me and annoyed with me, and she told me there was no hope for me, and I just feel like that's not something you say to a child in middle school who is having a hard time as it is, to tell them they just seem hopeless and there's probably no hope for them. And I mean, I forgive her. I don't care. I used to like brew over this. I used to think about this woman all the time and how I just felt like she did more damage than good in my life. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. What I wanted to say is, yes, I've been there. I've been very depressed in my life. Luckily now, at this point in my life, I've gotten a little bit older. It really doesn't affect me anymore. I haven't been super duper depressed in a year to 2 years. I've really kind of grown into my own more, and a lot of you guys say that who have watched my channel for years. I started my channel in high school, so a lot of you have said that you've watched me grow, and it just grow up as a person and just grow in life and grow in how I am. I feel like a completely different person than I was even 3-4 years ago. So I want you to know that I've been there. I totally understand what it feels like. It feels like it's never going to get better. It feels like it's hopeless. It feels like there's nothing you can do. I want you to know that your brighter days are right around the corner. I think we all go through these hard stages in life, and sometimes they're worse for others than others. I know you probably look at other people's lives like, no, you know, this girl looks like she's never had a problem, and this guy's doing fine, and all these great things are happening to all these people, but why not me? And I was totally one of those. And then I just buckled down. I focused on myself. I found something that really makes me happy and feel better personally, which was my yoga, my running, Pilates. It sounds so silly, but you have no idea how much exercise can cure you. It's so weird to say. And of course, if you have an actual psychological or medically diagnosed problem, you need to follow those routes and definitely talk to somebody. That's always most important. I used to do Doctor on Demand a lot, which is an app where you could call and talk to therapists, and you don't have to show your face. You can just talk over the phone. I did that countless times when I was in a really dark place and I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't want to tell Alok. I didn't want to tell my mom. I needed to tell somebody though, and I would call the Doctor on Demand app, and they were so helpful, and they take insurance. So there's definitely options for you to talk to somebody to feel better. But the saving grace for me really was getting more invested and more focused on my personal health, my well-being, my fitness. I felt like all the issues I had and all the stresses I had, I just threw into my yoga, my running, and it became like a religion to me. It just became like I felt like I couldn't breathe without doing it those days. And I've fallen off, which I hate, and I still feel okay, but I personally like really hate that I haven't been running or doing my normal activities like I used to do. It's partly because I moved to a new area and I truly don't feel comfortable running around out here. It's kind of more farther back in the woods, and there's not a lot of lights, there's not a lot of people. I know it's not much help, but I will just say there are ways for you to get help out there, whether it's Doctor on Demand, start doing yoga. Yoga with Adrienne is a YouTube channel that I still to this day say basically saved my life. I can credit her with all my feelings betters because I just completely focused on her channel, on her videos, learning the whole technique, and my focus went from being just, you know, drilling myself all the time and being focused on being so unhappy and everything I hated about myself to I'm learning this new skill. I'm learning this new thing that I don't know anything about, and I can actually be really good at it. And I got really good at yoga. That's why I'm really mad that I kind of let myself slip, because I wonder like where I'd be now with it. And that can turn into a career, you guys. You could go into teaching yoga. There's so many things you can do when you just start a new little hobby. Whether you could start painting, you could, you know, any of these things. Start a YouTube channel. Start talking about your problems, you know, what you feel comfortable with sharing, because I've shared all my problems on YouTube, and some of it I regret, some of it I'm happy I did because it really saved me in that time. I'm going to take my Sigma Beauty Medium Sweeper E54 brush, and I'm going to spritz it with some setting spray. And I'm going to go into this kind of olivey green, light green shade. It is a metallic shadow. Oh, she's pretty. Wow, that's pigmented. I did not need a lot of that shadow at all. I'm just gonna pop that all over my lid. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of like reach out to you guys and let you know, because the holidays actually do bring a lot of depression out in people. Whether you have like seasonal depression, which is what I struggle with, where it gets dark out sooner and it's cold and the colors even play a trick on you. Some people react really negatively to dim lighting and like more yellow casted lighting, and you don't do so well in the winter time when it starts getting dark out really early. It can be seasonal depression. There's just, you know, you got to talk to somebody. You got to look into what you can do. But also, you know, do some good for you. You deserve good. Things like yoga are so awesome because you can just look at free videos online. You can buy a cheap mat at the dollar store. Everywhere sells yoga mats these days for cheap. And set yourself some minutes aside every day, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour. If you can give yourself an hour, that's amazing. And just like allow yourself that time to focus on yourself and teach yourself something, and just know how good you will feel at the end of it. It is so much fun, and I love doing it along with a video like Adrienne's yoga channel. I absolutely adore because you have someone else there with you. Not to mention it's a calming technique. It teaches you to be calm and just be centered and be okay, and it really gets your mind to focus in another direction. So that's my biggest tip if you're struggling around this time of year. I totally get it. It's a stressful time for a lot of people. I've shared with you guys about how I always have a little bit of a difficult time around the holidays because my parents are divorced. Like, I'm okay. It doesn't bother me, but of course, like when we go over to each other's houses and my mom's not there at my dad's and then my dad's not there at my mom's, you know, it kind of sits with you. You kind of get a little feeling of just like, I just miss my family all being together. That's all. I don't think I'll ever stop missing everyone being there, even though they're so much better separated. I think just from like a little kid's point of view that like maybe has never left my body, I still see it as like I'm real young, like 15 again, and just like wishing that they could just work. So I get it. I get it. Holidays can be really tricky for some people. Lola, what's the matter? I love you. You're my baby girl. Hello, pretty girl. Are we making a video? Yeah. Why don't you take a seat, pretty girl? Someone wants a belly rub. Don't mind us. Hey, leave the light bulb alone. So next I'm going to do a little lining. This is my Girlactic Beauty liquid liner. And I told myself I did not want to do a wing today. And what do? I do a wing. Story of my life. I have a wing that I love and a wing that I hate. And I'm going to tightline my upper and lower lash line. and blend that in. Crazy girl. I feel like someone's watching me. And then I want to curl my lashes really quickly. This is my, is this Tweezerman? Yes, my Tweezerman lash curler. Can I tell you how dumb I was when I was a child? When I was in like early middle school, I had bought a lash curler without my mother's knowledge because I don't think she would have let me have one back then. And I thought you were supposed to curl your bottom lashes like pointing up. I would like try and curl my bottom lashes. Oy, oy, oy. Do you ever look back at the silly things you thought when you were little? And then you guys already knew I wasn't going to be in the mood for falsies because I hate them. So I'm going to take my Lancome Grandiose mascara. Again, it's always the mascara I use when I kind of want a really false lash effect without the false lashes. It's usually just a few coats of this and I feel like my lashes are pretty thick. I love that olive green shadow, but it's kind of transferring onto my upper lid and I hate when that happens. So I might need to touch that up. Now let's pop over to the face. I'm going to use my favorite foundation primer. This is the Fenty Beauty Foundation Primer. And like I've told you guys before, I didn't love the foundation at the end of the day. I loved it at first, but then I noticed some breakouts and the color was off for me. I think, I don't know, because I still would probably have that breakout factor, but I would kind of like to try it again in a more fitting shade. But that's what happens when you order online, you know? And for foundation, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, and it's a little dark for me, so I like to add in a pump of my It Cosmetics CC cream. And together, I really, wow, that was way too much on one side of my face. Together, I really like the look that they give me. I feel like the CC cream like thins it out enough to where it doesn't look like super heavy foundation. Like I can kind of see my skin through it still, but it has a nice glow. I really like this little concoction. And I'm using it with my Sigma Beauty 3D HD blender sponge into the forehead region. Oh, I can't believe I still don't have anything to wear on this trip. I'm gonna be so stressed out at the mall tonight, but I'm so excited to vlog it. Like I said, I don't vlog a whole lot, so I think it's gonna be a fun little preview of what my vlog channel will be like. And it won't be all of like trips and stuff, because I really don't do that this much. This year was kind of random because I got to fly a little bit more than I usually do, but truly that's like not my life. I'm definitely a homebody and I prefer to stay home. A lot of the videos will probably be me at home, me and Alok going on our little silly adventures. We like to do little dumb stuff like go to Walmart and just mess around and play with our cats and cook dinner and all the little stuff we do. I always want to vlog like being with my friends, but a lot of them don't want to be on the internet, which I totally respect. So, because they have, you know, adult jobs. That's why a lot of times I don't vlog when I go out with my friends, because, or a lot of times why I don't vlog at all, because I don't like to put people on the internet who don't want to be there. Isn't that coverage pretty? See, I just really like how that looks. Next, let's pop on some concealer. This is my Urban Decay All-Nighter Concealer that you guys know has just been my jam lately. Oh, dang it. This is the fair shade. Really did not want the fair shade. I like the light shade. I can use the fair, but it doesn't cover quite as well as the light shade does, because the light has more of a yellow base. So also do some down the nose, up into the forehead, some on the chin. And I'm going to blend this in with my finger because I dropped my sponge and I cannot stand, like, I mean, obviously you probably shouldn't, but sometimes I've done it. Like if I drop a brush or I drop something on the floor, even though my floors are clean, I do vacuum regularly because Alok and I both have allergies to cats and we have 3 of them. So we have to try and keep this place like as free of cat hair as we possibly can. But obviously, look, when things drop on the floor, I don't like to use them. Duh. Who does? But sometimes I do it and I'm like, ugh, why did I do that? This is so gross. I actually was listening to a podcast the other night. I fall asleep listening to podcasts every night because I need noise to drown out the sound of Alok snoring. I always tweet about this at like 3 a.m. I'll be like, still awake because Alok snores so damn loud. And a lot of people are always like, he needs to get his nose fixed. He needs to see a doctor. He is. He's in the middle of quite the sleep tests. He actually has to go pick up this machine soon where they're going to have him take it home and sleep with it, and it'll monitor his sleeping patterns and everything, and then you can go through insurance to get approved to get a treatment done. But that's his big thing this year, this new year, finally taking care of his sleeping problem. Because he's always been a snorer, but honestly, you guys, it's my fault that it got worse. I got Alok punched in the face once. That's right. I accidentally caused a bar fight for Alok once. I mean, it was 100% my fault, but it almost wasn't my fault. But no, it was 100% my fault. I completely escalated things. This was many years ago. We were very young, but we went to the shore and there was this guy there. So we were at a bar, of course, and it was getting real late in the night and Alok had to go to the bathroom, and it was just me and Alok and my friends, and my friends were all dancing inside, and Alok had to go to the bathroom, and I'm an annoying girlfriend, so I followed Alok to the bathroom. And the bar had like an outdoor deck area and an inside dance floor. So my friends were all on the dance floor and Alok and I went outside, probably like 10 feet away from the bathrooms. And for some reason I knew this was going to happen. I I got really nervous when he went to the bathroom because I just had such a feeling that this was not going to end well. Alok goes to the bathroom. This guy walks up and he starts talking to me and I'm just kind of like, hi, I'm just waiting for, you know, my boyfriend. He's in the bathroom. And he thought I was lying. He was like, oh, you're just saying that. You don't have a boyfriend. Because apparently I'm some hideous beast that would never have a boyfriend. I'm adding some of the light shade on top of that because that's just too fair for me. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. My boyfriend will be out in a minute. And he still doesn't leave. He's still just staying there. And Alok and I both have drinks like sitting on the table where this guy came up to. So Alok comes out to the bathroom because I'm texting him like, come out now, like help me. This guy's like, won't leave me alone. So Alok comes out, comes back to the table, and Alok thinks he's picking up his drink. This part's gross. This is the part that bothers him to this day, that he accidentally sipped someone else's drink. So Alok picks up the drink that he thinks is his and he drinks it. And it was the guy's drink who, you know, set his creepy little drink down on the table. Luckily, it didn't have a roofie in it or something. Alok chucks it back and the guy's like, hey, freaks out, grabs the cup from him and is like, don't ever drink from my drink. And Alok was like, it's on our table. Like, go away. Why are you still here? And they got in a little bickering argument. The guy would not go away. And obviously I was drinking. I don't really remember what was going on. I think this guy was just drunk and felt embarrassed that like he was hitting on me and it wasn't gonna work out. And the guy was embarrassed about like, why was he still at that table? Like we were at this table way in the back where nobody was. So it was so weird that he like was still there and wouldn't go away. So they're fighting, and in my drunken state, I think the best way to get rid of this guy is to crawl on the table. I literally crawl up on the table. It was a small little table and I was sitting on the bar stool. And I got up on the table, I reached over, he was wearing a baseball hat. I grabbed his baseball hat and I threw it across the bar, thinking that he would have to go and get his hat. But obviously, this humiliated man was not about to go crawl for his hat and like leave. He then turns around and clocks Alok right in the nose, punched him, just laid him out. I freaked the fuck out. I grabbed the guy's shirt. I tore the guy's shirt. It was like tore it in half, ripped off him. That was that. Alok got up and he was like laughing and I was just like, oh my God. I start crying hysterically. I like fell over. I was like, he hit my boyfriend. He hit my boyfriend. And then of course all the bouncers come over and like separate it. And to this day, what I'm really annoyed about is that they kicked Alok and I out of the bar, but not the guy who punched Alok. And the worst part is that when we were leaving, exiting the bar, him and all his friends were shouting really racist things to Alok, which nothing will bother me ever more in the world than people saying horrible things to him, like calling him a terrorist, like typical things people say to him that are just so ignorant and dumb. So that was so annoying. They kicked us out, let the racist drunk guy stay, and that was that. But anyway, ever since then, Alok's nose has been semi-crooked. He does have a deviated septum from it, and it just like made his snoring so much worse. So that is something he's taken care of this year. I'm also going to obviously set my under eyes with some Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is my favorite little under eye setting brush. This is the F79 Kabuki from Sigma. I just like to pack it in. Oh my God, that night. I mean, now we laugh about it so much. We think it's so funny. But that night I was so dramatic. I was like leaving the bar crying. I was like, you've just been assaulted. All because my little attitude. I had to throw the guy's hat across the bar. It was completely my fault, but joke's on us because now we'll have to spend the money to get his nose fixed. So my fault. I'm also going to take the L'Oreal Infallible powder and set that on my face. I know this is the only powder I've been pretty much using in like every video. I'm just on this extreme like use up all of my old makeup before I buy any new makeup. Like I would much rather have a new foundation powder that I actually really like. This one, it's okay. I'm not crazy about it by any means. It does the job, but I would like something a little more full coverage. But I refuse until I use it up because it's right on its last leg. You can see it's like, it's going. She's a goner. But I refuse to buy anything else until I use this up and a few other products I'm kind of doing that with. And I want to take a little brush and dust off that translucent powder under my eyes. And now jumping back into my Sephora Pro palette, I want to take some of that olivey brown shade again that I really like. And I just want to pop that on my lower lash line and blend it in with a liner. Let's finish it off. Let's get some contouring in real quick. As always, taking my Fiona Styles contouring palette with this medium shade with my P89 Fake Precision brush from Sigma. This is like just my perfect little contouring duo for my nose. I love how these products all work together. I love this brush because I can flip it over and over to get my perfect blendage. And this contouring palette by Fiona Styles just has like my most ideal shade. Ah, I'm so happy to be feeling better. That was like one of those colds that I thought I was never gonna get out of. I thought I was like dying. But the big man still has me here today, so thank you, sir. I'm also going to take some of that contour powder with my F06 Powder Sweet Brush right along my cheekbone. This is a great little brush if you don't like getting too carried away with your contour or your bronzer. It just keeps it really tight. And along the forehead, of course, this is my sweet spot for bronzer. Another reason why I'm kind of excited to start my vlog channel is because, well, I kind of want it to be not only vlogs, but kind of like topic videos or chatting videos. There's a lot of times where I'll be going over certain topics in my tutorials, kind of like today when we talked about depression, where I have so much more to share, but I kind of have to move along with the video. I can't talk about it that entire time. So I would love my vlog channel to be kind of just a topics channel as well, where we can discuss different things going on, not like a drama channel or anything like that, but just certain things going on in the media or even like TV, like things about Teen Mom or The Housewives. You guys know I love those shows. I would just like a really fun little place to just kind of not talk about makeup or beauty, just like life in general. I feel like I have a lot to say to you guys all the time, and I'm really a talker. I just am. And I kind of think that, who knows, that channel could even maybe do better than my beauty channel. Maybe the reason why my beauty channel never grows is because that's not my, that's not my journey. It's not my thing. That's something I've really been thinking about lately, like, because I'm not dumb, I'm not blind. I see that my beauty channel doesn't really grow. It's kind of always stayed, in the past few years at least, around like the 300,000 subscriber mark, which is amazing. I'm so proud of myself just for getting to that much, but it's never really moved up from there. And so I think it's time maybe I explore some other options, some other paths that might be more fitting towards me and people might like. So I don't know, I'm excited. It's going to be an exciting year for that girl SHAE XO, but I think on that channel I'll just be SHAE. That girl SHAE XO is the beauty girl, but I'm also just SHAE. I'm just kind of blending everything out now, and I do feel like I've kind of lived somewhat of an interesting life so far. I know I'm only in my 20s still, but I've done a lot. I've moved around. I've went from one extreme life to the other, like living in more of like a country type lifestyle to living in a city and traveling a lot. And I come from extremely humble beginnings. So I just feel like I have a nice array of knowledge. I didn't grow up with like a spoon in my mouth, a silver spoon or whatever they say. My family's always really struggled in many ways, and I've witnessed a lot. I'm just taking a little of this brightening powder under the old eyes here. I don't know. I'm just kind of chatting. I'm just kind of discussing it right now. I just feel like I have a lot to offer, and maybe not so much in the makeup community. Maybe that's not my thing. But maybe I could be a good friend to someone who needs it. And that's kind of what I always, wanted my channel, my makeup channel to be about anyway. But it is getting like a little vain and a little competitive in ways that I just don't really care about. I don't really care who's the biggest channel and who's popular and who doesn't like who. Like, ugh. It's interesting for a minute and then it just gets boring. It's like, doesn't anyone else notice all the crazy things that are happening in the world? For us all just to be focusing like on drama and channels and who likes who and who's friends and then who's not friends. It all seems pretty hollow and empty to me. Don't get me wrong, I've gotten caught up in it before myself. I understand why it's attractive, but I don't know. I'm just interested in other things too. For cheekies, I'm gonna use Kylie Cosmetics X-Rated Blush. She's a man-eater, make you walk home. I mean, I still love it. Who doesn't love some Fergs? Is that Fergie? Man-eater? No, that's that other girl. Why did I think that was Fergie? I love this blush. Just such a cute peachy color. And I love these peachy tones with green eyes. I think they're always pretty. Mama needs a highlighter, make you walk more. I'm going to take this Diamond Glow powder in the shade Illuminati from Artist Couture. I'm pretty sure I got this in a little PR kit a while ago from Jackie Aina when she had her last Artist Couture collection. Pretty sure she's coming out with another one, isn't she? I live for Jackie. Like, when I tell you guys, she's as nice and beautiful in person as she is on her videos and on Twitter. Like, she just is who she is and nothing is fake about it. And that's what I love about her. She also doesn't give a fuck if you don't have a lot of followers, if you're, my channel's relatively small, and she has been so nice to me. Like, she invited me to her birthday party just after meeting me for a few times, gave me her phone number, comments and likes my photos and my tweets and actually talks to me. And Every time we're going to the same event, she'll tweet me and be like, oh, I can't wait to see you. God, this is, whoo, Lord. Oh, I just threw my fucking brush because I was so shook. This is actually what dreams are made of right here. But anyway, she's just a real cool, down-to-earth girl. And then on my lip line as well, let's also hit up that chin. SHAE's a man eater, make it. I can't remember the rest of the words. That's why I go like a chicken. Like a chicken, bitch. All right. I've been wanting to use this lip, and I think today's the day. This is the Kathleen Lights in Color Pop Lip Satin in the shade Dreamy. And then lastly, of course, let's set that face. And there you have this makeup look, but I kind of want to add just a little bit of glitter, you guys. I know I'm getting carried away. I'm taking the Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy and just adding some onto the lid because I just thought, why not? It's the holiday season. Let's do her up. All right, fam, that is it for today's Throwback Thursday tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I love it so much, and I think it's super fun for holidays. It's festive, but it's not super brown and red and like the traditional holiday makeup colors. I don't know. I think something like this is still really fun and pretty and glam, but pretty simple to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to come back tomorrow for my vlog of my week in Malibu with e.l.f. Cosmetics. I'm so excited. It hasn't happened yet for me, even though it's going up tomorrow because I'm filming this in advance. Definitely stay tuned for that vlog. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!